To understand data removal and remnants, we must first understand the structure of a hard disk drive, which consists of a few different elements. The first being a disk track, which are the circular rings throughout the disk, and a section of this track is known as a sector, highlighted in blue, and the disk tracks are highlighted in pink. Now, data is stored in clusters, and clusters can be spread across multiple sectors, aka spread across multiple portions of a pie. Keynote: because clusters can spread across multiple sectors of a disk, this can create data remnants, and the ultimate goal is to eliminate data remnants. These keynotes are vital to understand as we move throughout this video and discuss the different types of data removal methods. Again, remember the ultimate goal is to eliminate data remnants. So, how do we remove data? Well, there are a few different methods. The first being the most common, which is the simple delete operation, the delete option on your keyboard. The second method, a little more advanced, is known as clearing, which is overwriting data with unclassified data to ensure the data may not be reconstructed. The next method is a more advanced version of clearing. In fact, it's clearing multiple times. This is known as purging. Now, those are the more software related data removal methods. Now, for some physical data removal methods. The first being degaussing, which is destroying the electrics via a strong magnetic field on a magnetic hard disk drive. And the second physical method is destruction, which is the most secure method for obvious reasons. So now we understand the concepts of data removal or data sanitization. Let's go back and get a little technical on each of the methods, starting with the erasing option, aka the simple delete option on your keyboard, which is the most insecure method as the actual data remains on the drive. This will be explained later. The next method and more secure method is clearing, which is overwriting data across the hard disk, unlike a simple delete, which just changes the memory locations of where the data on the disk is stored. The next method is purging, which is an intense version of clearing, where overwriting data is done multiple times, aka multiple passes, which provides a higher level of assurance that data cannot be reconstructed. The key word being cannot versus may not. This is a fundamental difference between clearing and purging, and the degree of confidence each method provides. As for degaussing, well, it is not recommended as there is a huge risk that this method naturally can destroy the electronics around a magnetic hard disk drive, meaning not only may the data be removed, the magnetic drive itself may be rendered unusable. Another important exception note: degaussing does not affect optical drives such as CDs, DVDs, and solid-state drives, SSDs, which we shall discuss later in this video. And the final, most secure method, destruction, will literally destroy the drive, meaning it cannot be reused in any way. Common destruction methods include incineration, crushing, disintegration, dissolving, adding chemicals, and there are even large electronic shredders where you can throw hard drives in, which will be shredded just like a paper shredder, but more intensely. So, to further recap and cement our knowledge, the two methods of clearing and purging allow reuse of media, with the main difference being the degree of confidence of the data removal. And the erasing, aka delete operation, is a false operation in that it does not really delete the data. However, the location of the data on the disk is reformatted or repointed to allow reuse and overwriting of new data. But the risk is that this data can be reconstructed. As for degaussing, well, magnets, right? And destruction, hammers, right? Make of that what you will. But quite simply, destruction is the end, whereas degaussing is a risk. Please take a moment to pause the video and make sure you fully understand all these data removal concepts. And finally, some bonus context to help your understanding. Knowing the difficulties with data removal methods, for this reason, declassification of media is generally a rare activity, especially for highly sensitive data. In the rare cases declassification should occur, the only real viable option is the purging method. Keynote: the cost of reuse is often significant and may exceed the cost of just purchasing a new system or media, hence why this is a rare activity, especially considering the risks of data remnants. I don't think any government would want data remnants of classified or top secret data. In fact, did you know the United States government do not consider any purging method acceptable to purge top secret classified data? Furthermore, the United States NSA, National Security Agency, even recommend that in the cases of SSDs, solid state drives, they must be physically disintegrated, aka shredded, down to the level of particles due to issues with data remnants. In our next video, we shall discuss the concept of data classification and its associated data labeling and data handling methods. So do ensure you have liked and subscribed to this channel to ensure you do not miss the next video. And thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed the content as much as I enjoyed creating it.